Duane made this, it's a statement of, sort of a statement for Lila's funding, stating or no, referencing the Department of Education, the accommodations they should make for her and what they're not. So he made this letter to the administrators, and I copied about over 30 administrators, and it was sent out last night just to keep them alert to what we're doing, and requesting that they release her funds, which could be $8,000 to $10,000, something like that, which would help pay for the concert, and it might help her pay for her hearing aids too. So she's like, she got some hearing aids that cost like $4,000 and they don't work, so she can return them. And then I told her about ear candling, and so she might look into that. That's more like cleaning out your ears. Hers is more of a nerve damage from a loud noise made when she was young. So, but the nerve cells could grow back too, possibly. So there's that, and then there's the. I noticed they're running for governor here in California, probably November, I'm thinking. But there's a race for governor, and I thought I'd contact some of these people that are running for governor with Lila's case and see if they want to bring that to the forefront. Maybe they could get some publicity for helping an old lady out, elderly lady, get her financial funds. It might look good for them. So I'm contacting some of them just for fun.
Maybe you could run for governor, Val.
Yeah, I did run for city council, and that was like spontaneous. It was like, what, 2-3 months. We just before the election said, oh, let's do this, and so it wasn't really a lot of heads up time. So we just got things together. I think it was like 50 signatures I needed. That's it. And I threw my name in the hat there. I got.
Val, admit that there is a temptation to run for governor.
There's no governor, yes. Governor of what? Well, we're all governing here. We're all managing. Yeah. Yeah, we've had some, Arnold was here, the actor Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor. Edmund Brown is now governor. His father was governor. And he's been here quite a while. I'm surprised. Maybe, I don't know if there's a term, but he seems like he's been here forever. Brown. We'll see what happens here.
Apparently hydrogen peroxide is good for cleaning out the ears and also regrowing nerves and helping with things like Alzheimer's too. Maybe Lila would be interested.
Yes. Is Lila on today here? I don't see her. Is she on? Are you on, Lila? I did give her some hydrogen peroxide to drink, but yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I had heard that too. It's good for the ears too, so I'll mention that to her. Especially if it grows new cells. It helps do that. Activates the stem cells or whatever it does. Grow new nerve endings in the ears.
So how many people did you send that email that Duane wrote to Val at the college?
It was over 30, 35, and I still have to do Yeah, Eric sent me the newspaper faculty advisor lady just this morning, so I'm going to send that to her too. She's the one that stiffed us with the press release that we offered them. This is the college newspaper. We had a press release for Lila, Golden Girl, goes back to college, 96. We thought it'd be a great story. But then we didn't hear from her for a while, and then we went in, and she just gave us a cold shoulder. Actually, an attitude that, geez, it's like really an attitude. Like, no, we're not running it. We're doing an investigation on you. uh, and then went in again, and she said, then somebody told us that they're just not running the story, and there's no reason why, no follow up on the investigation. You probably saw that we were connected with the new presentation somehow, and that scared them off. Still to her, I did send one to the governor's office. And then we see the lawyer. Yeah, we did talk to a lawyer. Or Duane talked to the lawyer that Lila found. It was the first response that we've gotten to where we actually talked to the lawyer himself. Duane explained the situation. He said he'd get back to us after he talked to his colleague. I called him yesterday, and they decided not to take the case. And I forgot to ask him why, so I called him back again, and I'm waiting to see why. I'm just curious. And then I asked for any referrals. He didn't give me any. He didn't know of anybody. So keep looking for those of you that are still trying to find a lawyer.
Yeah, I feel like we maybe need like a young gun who's just kind of not so like stuck in a routine of abiding by like, you know, the system we're up against. But
Yeah.
Someone will show up, I'm sure.
Well, it's funny, Lila was saying this and that to him. She's trying for financial aid, and I don't know, she's giving him these lower figures and stuff, and he says, oh, I don't know. And then she said, well, we're going to sue him for $35 million. And he just perked up. Oh. But still, it wasn't enough. They didn't, for some reason, they don't see it as a case they want to take. Let's see.
And what was his specialty, like background in law?
Well, actually, real estate law, but he went to OCC himself in the 80s, and he's local in Huntington Beach. And some of these lawyers, they have various specialties. You know, that was his main one, but he does other things too. But, you know, if someone's into civil rights, or especially, there's even ones that specialize in financial aid fraud, college financial aid fraud, or financial aid cases. And then, like I say, civil rights, discrimination against seniors and elderly. We've been contacting them. Yeah, so like you say, someone will show up, I feel.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't see any of those kinds of lawyers. I looked on a website called justia.com, and it was like a directory of lawyers in like Orange County. But yeah. And when you're calling lawyers, you're just kind of giving them a basic outline of the case. Because I noticed they said they give like a 15 to 30 minute free consultation. Is that kind of what you're getting when you call them?
Usually have a screening process. Yeah, we tried to sign up for WOW, which is Worldwide Organization of Women, but I guess there's a NOW one too that maybe was mentioned. Is that we tried. We tried to get an account and they wouldn't accept our password, or it just we had trouble signing in anyway. But it's we did a lot that night. Usually I go over there to Lila's Thursday night and we do stuff, and we just did that little bit, and then we were doing other things. We didn't never really got into it. She was going to follow through with her caregivers Monday on that one. We usually try to do a little homework for dance class, and we do briefings on, if she goes to court, what she's going to say. I'm focused on the concert. I'm doing this to help with the club and the nonprofit, and we're just give it to Val because she doesn't really understand the computer and too much, and she's got a tutoring team to help her through the schoolwork. But basically, she's not to say too much because just give it to me, give it to Duane and the group here. Basically me, because I'm the caregiver and power of attorney.
Just Lila.strikingly, if that'll work, and put this stuff up there, and the letters and everything. Just have a website for her that can be referred to. But we could put all this stuff on there, and Val's statement and all these things, and what we're doing, updates with sending out the emails and the different organizations she belongs to, and yeah. And Val, you could send that link around when you send out the email. When you send out these emails to everybody, and we'll send it again. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll see what we're doing. Yeah. We create a new one called Lila Must Overcome. We'll go over it. Yeah, we'll go over it. We'll just go over see, when it's in print, it's the best. Now we can go over the whole thing. Yeah. Write it up. I'll write it up. It's fine. You did the first part. I'll write it up. And now these are statements going back and forth, so they're going to get what they more than what they want. They don't even know what they want. Yeah. So they're going to find out a lot more.
Okay, can I begin my share?
You're on, Charles. Yes, we're waiting. Yes. Thank you for getting up. You're early for next Saturday.
I got up a long time ago, but the Skype it's a new format. Maybe I clicked something wrong, or took me, I had to delete and reinstall before coming on. This is the first time to use this version of Skype. It's really troubling.
Did you update your Skype?
Yes, I used a Microsoft account, and the system gave me a Skype name, so I was stuck.
You don't want to update your Skypes, and if you can take it out, it would be good, because it's just more junk from Microsoft. Ava here she got an update from Microsoft, and she couldn't even use her Painter program. So her computer guy showed her how to take it out. I said, take it out, and now it works again. If you can delete it, there's a way to get into your computer, take it out. The updates are worse. Take out all the updates. I don't click on the updates at all. They only get worse. They only add more junk and more restriction, filters, spyware. That's all they're adding. It's
Yeah, so
Microsoft. Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
deleted. I wanted to go back to the old model. It has the new one has surfaced again. So I'm just since I can see you guys, so there's no problem. So what might I do with spying on me? Ah, what about you? So much time wasted doing this. Okay, sorry to be late. Not help it. During the last week, you said the guy in Congo should just be watched, and maybe we get closer to know what he's doing, what he's sharing. That was very liberal of you, and well, that was carried out, and it turns out that the guy is really just one pompous fellow, a wannabe guru and master, who thinks that what he's evolving is even more than what you're doing, because what you're doing has restrictions, and there's a tendency that we are worshiping you. His system pretends to be totally free, where it's only the new sound, no other thing that is important. And so the ban on him from the group remains. Well, he was taken out of the WhatsApp group, but not from the new presentation. He's still free to participate in activities, to come to the to the meeting place and study, partake in the discussion classes. But he's not been coming. So one new friend has already got he has had a breakthrough real side experience where he sees this guy. He's come back to the fold, and the guy who has the experience, he exclaims, say, "Oh, you're back!" So the guy, this guy Trezor, he tells him to, in a harsh manner, not to talk much about him. Let people not notice him, that he's back, that he was really deceived. He fell under the astral influences and started doing that thing. So he says he's come back, that he was being deceived, to make those pronouncements. So you see how the thing has worked out. So I think Mariam was right. We're right to take him out of the group, WhatsApp group, because he was writing so much and then tending to confuse people, making some kind of declarations with the blue light man. There was a Tazarian frequency and all some kind of things. So now told him to go and create his own group and teach it by himself. So that is the update to him.
Well, you just make a decision. Miriam knows this fellow is French. He's French over there in the Congo.
Yeah, it's everyone there is French.
Okay.
Everyone there is French.
All right.
So
There's nothing like being French. Well, you know,
everyone there speaks French.
it's when it's funny when I find it rather humorous that that don't really pertain to these ideas of worship and stuff like that. Harry does, of course he does. He uses that, and it's a sneaky way to get people to worship them. It's really Joni's corporation. It's Reptilian Joni's corporation. People don't realize that. They just don't get it yet. That it's not about Harry. It's about Joni. It's her corporation. But these things are funny, and the restrictions that are created are the ideas that people have. But it's okay. You let them go through their process. So if a person's wants to be a guru or something, that's fine. Everything is fine. So we're going to constantly go through this. Had a little Ekis gal write me the other day, and just saying, she wrote me an email saying that that I'm confusing the Ekists, and when people say things like that, you look at the words they say. Val is learning this at the college, to listen to every word. You listen to every word a person says, and if I'm supposedly confusing the Ekists, as an example, does this mean that the Ekists don't have enough awareness to see through that, supposedly, or whatever, or see what's going on? So it would seem as though these statements are to where people are at the mercy of others, instead of having the awareness to be self-sufficient and make their own decisions and be aware enough to see what's going on. So again, it's interesting how people word things, etc. So yes, I've said a lot out there by others, but it's pertaining to what they're actually doing. And so I'm not disrupting anyone, actually. Well, we're providing a real service here. It's just that, again, people are emotionally attached to their ideas is what it really is, and they don't see that. And so it takes time. It takes a while to get through that. But, well, it's part of the adventure, like what we're going through, Charles, and it's all okay. I like to take on the challenge of these things. It's fine. And so let people do whatever they do. And just like what we're dealing with the college here, as each new part of this comes up, we just deal with it accordingly and see where it goes. And so that's fine too. Don't label it, but I've X'd out a few people myself out of the group here for doing funny things, and I was really reluctant to do it. I don't want to do that because I see the struggle for lifetimes that people have went through. But when it comes to what we're presenting here, and then they start to put their stuff, their astrology, funny stuff, and whatever on this, and they keep bringing this in the groups, vocalizing it. Well, then after a while, enough's enough, because that is what we do here. And yes, go do your thing. Go somewhere else and do it. Go promote yourself. And so again, there's a misunderstanding here. I don't proclaim anything. Ava and I are just here for everyone. That's the whole idea. It's so funny as we compare, and I'm always comparing Harry and Joni. They're not here for everyone, and they exemplify that. They're hiding. They're always hiding, and they appear once in a while. Like a bat or a ghost. They appear once in a while like an apparition. Ava and I are here for everybody every single day, all the time. you know. We're not going to answer everybody's questions, of course, because there's so much reading material, and people have to figure things out on their own. And so those people that step up, yes, you know, we're closer together and we do things together, like Val and Kelsey and some of the other ones here, you know, because it's all about focus. It's where is your focus? And we had a lady here recently and tried to give her a chance to, you know, work with us too, but her focus is all over the place. Couldn't do it. You know, it's a choice people make. So, yeah, and I don't like to do that either. I really don't. I was really, really reluctant because, again, I see the struggle, but at a certain point, it's like, you know what, enough's enough. You know, we don't need this. Just go do your own thing somewhere else. And so, and that's fine. Charles, again, you get comparisons, and it's really a wake up. This is where you take the time to evaluate and compare these things. And then, you know, each person decides accordingly. And we went through this too with even Lila here with the college, you know, and because she had talked to a lawyer, and the lawyer said, no, you can't do anything, you can't have anything. Everything's restrictions from the lawyer. And so basically, you know, she agreed. And then Val was going over and over this, and so he needed help. So I called and talked to her. And the idea here is that if you just keep agreeing to the system, if you just keep agreeing to this and don't take on the challenge, where are you going to be? You're going to be just where you were in your previous lifetimes. You're just going to keep agreeing to what sounds to be right and good and not take on the challenge. So, you know, once I had a talk with her and Val was there, all of a sudden she realized, well, I don't want to give up the adventure. You know, I said, well, it's your choice. You can just do nothing, like the lawyer, you know, described to you. You can just do nothing, sit home and do nothing, or you can step up and learn a whole lot by becoming involved in this and become more aware, etc. I know it's not easy. It's not easy for anybody, but, you know, again, that's where I like the confrontation, because it really, you know, it really heightens your senses, you might say, in so many aspects. But if you just kind of go along with your same old routines, then you're just going to be the same old, and eventually, when you're really old, you're just going to be muddled. That's it, and you won't know what to do with your life. You'll just grow old. It's very real. Yeah, so each one of us decides to, you know, do what we do. And so fortunately I started at a young age. I know it's harder when you get older, just like surfing. You know, I started at a young age. As you get older, it's harder. It's harder to do. And so it takes more persistence. But if you want this lifetime to be like all the others, you know, it's more than just knowing the real guides. It's an actuality of how you step up and become involved in some particular way to where you connect, you know, with all of creation and the whole of life. Yes. You know, it's been the spiritual path idea where you just kind of, you know, let the world be and forget all that and go off into your own la la land. It's really been that. But no, the bigger picture is to face everything, to deal with whatever comes up every single moment. It's a nowness. It's not some, you know, place you decide to sit and meditate and feel good about yourself. But it's facing all of life, because this is what the is does. It faces all of itself, every moment. It sees all. And who will step into those positions to see all? You see, there is a difference. A big difference. And this is where all these so-called spiritual paths and religious stuff, etc., are passive. They keep everybody passive and not real. But again, it's choice, it's free will. And so respectfully. And this is what we do. And yes, if people don't like it, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Because I just focus on the as. And we just do what we do. And we're not here to compliment others. In other words, this is where the question many times is asked, where's the love, Duane? Well, it's not for me to produce love for the world. That's not the idea, okay? The sun isn't doing that. It's not producing love for the world. The is doesn't do that. This is something that you decide. If you want love, you decide it for yourself. These gurus and masters and teachers and instructors and whatever, okay, these programmers, whatever, they always, bring in the feelings and the affections and whatever, which is fine, okay? And this is where they basically control others by that fact. So this is what people look for. They look for their comfort zone. They're always looking for their comfort zone to become more comfortable, okay, instead of indifferent and real. And you can add those things. So again, I can eat a can of refried beans just like it is. I don't have to add anything. But if I decide to, I will. I can add salsa or whatever. But, sometimes I don't want to do that. I'll just eat it like it is. So the sun shining for me is fine. I don't need the emotion and the singing and all these things. It's an isness. It's endless. It's an endless isness. But each person decides that. So we're always going to get this. This is how it is. And it's all okay. As you confront and deal with it, it actually helps you focus better by taking on the challenge of confronting it. And again, you can ask Val and Kelsey, especially Val here with what he's doing. Every time he steps up and confronts this, there's a little more to see, you see? Instead of going back to the personal self and just being comfortable and doing whatever, what you've always done. So, it's that subtle, that decision. That's the razor's edge. It really is. Until you get it to where you're just automatically doing it. You decide how that's going to be. So again, this is why these things are fine, and it's a good experience because this is where things are sorted out. But each individual sorts themselves out. Each individual has to prepare themselves, or they don't. And this is where, again, this is what we're doing here. This is a project. This is a project we're doing. We're taking on this challenge, etc. And this is exactly it. So there are always things to do, Charles, no matter where people are at. It's going to be a little different, but there's always that. And, people think the United States is wonderful. The United States here, as I've said many times, this is the controlling capital of the world. This is the front that the cabal uses, and so it is not what people think it is. Not at all. Not even close. And the school here, with what the school has decided, with what these people have decided, and there's many of them, many of them. There's hordes of them. They don't want people to be free. They don't want people to wake up. So they're creating all these assumptions, all right, etc. And so this is the United States. This is how it really is. It all surfaces. And, again, we're just sharing the idea of the old natural environment. Just the idea at first bothers them. Now they're all ruffled with investigations and all this other stuff, etc. And even the rules and regulations they make, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to be confronted about it. Again, we already gave them the heart of the matter, and now they want, we need more information. Yeah, right. How much information do you need? See, it's never enough. And they're drilling Lila too. So it's very humorous, really. But it's really how the world is. And I'm not concerned one way or the other how it goes, just like what's going on there in the Congo. Don't be concerned. Things go the way they go, and it's all okay. So take what you can and utilize that for your focus, because that's all there is. There is no life here. There is just simulation. You're in a simulation. That's it. And you can put all the feelings and ideas you want into things. But it's up to each individual to see through the simulator and recognize their real awareness. That's why we're here, and when we decide to do that. So this is where these challenges, when you take them on, are very important than a 9-to-5 job where you're drudged out and you're tired and sick and old. Yeah, and with Wi-Fi and everything else, this is the world. They want to keep you stupid. So, yes, Charles. Uh, I like Miriam's decision. She knows what to do, and you kids know what to do there. So again, you're having your adventure. That's your challenge too. It's all okay. I wouldn't criticize it. I would welcome it and creatively deal with it. That's the fun part. Yes, like Val is doing.
Yeah, Duane, and I think the decision was very sound because he's realized himself another person has had a real side experience where he has come back ashamed and he doesn't even want people to know he's come back again, and he admits that he was being deceived by the influence. So to have that pride and if in fact if you could read French and you read what he was saying in the group there, it really pissed me off, and it's a good decision that was taken. And then he set the whole group uh, in some kind of turbulence until one guy, you know the guy has shared his real side experience about 2 weeks ago. Uh, a leader who had a dream, who shared the news with his friend, and then his friend had a dream where he was in a valley with Harold doing hard labor. So this guy, because of what Trezor was doing, the guy who shared the dream with the other friend, he decided to go into, uh, he decided to ask the real guys for the truth concerning this Trezor and his claims, and then the new man. And so he had an experience when he was singing the new song. It appeared as if there were 5 other people singing with him. They were each taking turns singing. You know. Then all of a sudden, he was projected out of his body, and he says he found himself in a kind of, he uses the word in and draw paradisic, a kind of paradise that he can't describe. That's the only word he can come up with. And so, when he gets into this very beautiful place, which he thinks is paradise, it is there that he sees a new man. He says he sees Duane there, and Duane is very tall, about 700 meters tall, and even more. And then he is radiating, he's shining like the sun. Then he tells himself, he says, yes, no man, Duane is the true reality, it's the true golden reality. And in the experience, he just concludes that he has been shown the true reality, and what Trezor has been claiming there is nothing, and that he's certainly off track. Then he comes back. When he has this experience and sees Duane, he's sort of overwhelmed, and then he wants to withdraw. He says he feels very ashamed and a bit unworthy to stand there. So he wants to withdraw, and he takes some steps back, but Duane tells him to come forward. And they said something which he has not shared. He decided not to share, as keeps it as his secret or something like that. So you see how this controversy in the Congo has led the guys there to have various kinds of inner experiences, in fact, validating the importance of the new presentation and the new man in their lives. I think everything works, tends towards their own edification. Yeah,
That's cool, Charles. If you could write that one down too, because these are very important. The Africans are they're very special, and I know that from their view, their life is hard, but they're very special. And again, yes, see, when you step up and just take it on, like you were saying, disrupted the group. Actually, there's no such thing. Each person decides. If there's a disruption, the people decide that disruption, don't they? We've all gone through it. I understand. We have this personal self, and it's okay. It's okay. Like Anton, when he certain things bothered him that we were marketing out there, and then he did a bunch of videos and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden he came back, and other people too. Realistically, I see that they have nowhere else to go. Okay, there is only one true way, and that is the isness itself. And we've come here to learn is not just to look for enlightenment and salvation and all these things. No, these things are, again, they're part of a marketing ploy that's been given us, and they're the baby steps. And then they've become marketing ploy to those that take them over and, you might say, misuse them and don't even always realize that themselves. But what we're really here for is to recognize how to support the true reality life is. How will you do that? How will you stand real with that? That's really the lesson here. Yes, more so than, what can I get? You see, we've been through that. Again, when we were raised by our parents, it's always like, I want this, I want that, and I want this, and, what can I get from my parents or whatever. And just the same thing as when you join religion or spiritual paths, the individual is usually looking for what they can get. And so, but the bigger picture, the real picture, just like what we're saying, supporting the all-natural environment, supporting us, that's the isness life is. And that's the best part, when you recognize how to do that. And then, you know what? That just banishes all this unequalization that has taken place with the ideas of master, guru, teacher, student, and all these things. You see, it banishes all that to where we're all this reality and we support each other. It's so cool how it is. Yeah. And so, yes, if you would, that's the most important part, Charles, is always the support. You support the real guides, they support you. This is how it works. You stand real with the is, it will stand real with you. This is how it is. You don't have to look for anything. You decide to stand real and become more aware and recognize what it is, how it supports you. You recognize that, and you recognize how, in some way, however it is, that you stand up and support it. And so this is what we're doing. And again, even some of the people in the group have left. And I confronted one person. I said, "This is for you. What we're doing at the college here. Why didn't you step up?" And this person decided to leave just from that conversation. It's like, why? But again, I don't ask the question. I just said, "Okay, have fun." Again, these people will realize, they'll come to their own realization, until there's a real support there. And I'm not saying I'm doing the right thing. That's not the idea. But at least I'm doing something. You see, it's just something. So if we're doing it at the college, we're doing it here or there, or what you kids are doing over there, whatever it is, you see, it's that support. It's recognizing how to support each other, not living for others, but to step up, just like the boys do. This is how life is. We support each other, then we survive, a better survival, a real survival of recognition. Yes, that recognition is so important. Yeah, it's so cool. And you said, I've come through so much myself, but the recognition is the most valuable. And how is it that, again, making the statement that for Ava and I, we're here for you. We're here for everyone. You know, that's the whole idea. Yeah. And so what does Harry say? He uses Paul's old saying, I am always with you. Well, that sounds like taplining to me. Yes. So again, you know, it was one thing at one time. Now it's become another, hasn't it? It's not the same. Life is not the same. The best part is to learn to recognize it. But the support is very important. Just simply that you're there. You'll do something, whatever, you see, to take on the challenge. You need the challenge because it sparks the awareness, or you stay in the simulator. So if you would, that's a great experience. Again, from the Africans, I see these as precious. You know, we have a lot of experiences here we share, but I see that from the Africans, from the so-called people that hardly have, you know, any living or lifestyle or whatever, struggling, that their experiences are very precious. And so when you write them down, that's huge. Yes, Charles, thank you for your interpretation, because we need that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'll write this one down, put it where tomorrow, so we can share it, because it's really interesting what 1 week of controversy has brought out there. The guys, everything has come out in the open. So this thing has died a natural death.
Well, let me interject here, and that is that now do you see, you know, all the talking is fine, but now do you see how this experience has prompted certain events, you see? And so this is where, when you learn to face everything, it's okay, because it will prompt certain events to take place. People will be motivated to focus more. Do you see what's going on? So it's all okay. Take it on.
Yeah.
No matter how it is, take it on. See, it's not a matter of, oh, I don't like that, or they're criticizing, we're going to get rid of them. No, confront it and take it on. And creatively have fun with it, because again, you see how it's prompted. You see how it's prompted this experience. Yes, it's very much needed. And it takes a lot to prompt these experiences. And it takes a shock at times to be shocked. We're not looking for peace or love or happiness. It's not about that. Those are things that people decide for themselves. The whole of life is an isness, and it's awesome. And to recognize it and to wake up from this simulator. And now you see how it's working, you see? That's the best part. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.